New tonight on KGW News, the survival story a family calls a miracle.
We are grateful that all of us are still alive. Nothing happened. Nobody went to the hospital.
The 6-month-old left without a scratch after an SUV slammed into his nursery. Plus, a woman who says she was abused as a child by a local pediatrician shares her story.
The touching, it made me feel kind of like gross in my own body.
Now she's suing over what she says happened at what were supposed to be routine appointments. Then, where a police officer just resigned over racist comments caught on his own body camera.
Nothing he said was appropriate, quite frankly. My stomach was turning the entire time.
Good evening, everyone. And first at 11, an incredibly close call when deputies say an SUV crashed into a baby's nursery, with his family telling us had this happened just minutes earlier, the consequences could have been far more severe. We're glad you're with us tonight. I'm David Molko. Catherine Cook talked with the Pleasant Valley family who calls their survival a miracle.
One day, baby Jorge will know that these strong young lungs of his saved his life. An average weeping, supernaturally timed.
I think it was a miracle because how otherwise she couldn't know that that was coming.
That this was coming. This SUV that barreled down an embankment off Southeast Jenny Road straight into Jorge's nursery. It happened just 3 minutes after his mom picked up the crying baby from his crib and took him into another room.
No, I couldn't believe it.
Jorge's uncle is grateful no one inside was hurt in the crash, despite the catastrophic damage.
Like say, at least we're not crying on the ER, waiting to see if somebody's gonna make it or not. So we're blessed, I think. We're happy, and I think this will be okay.
Just a very thin margin between this being tragic and everybody walking away.
Multnomah County Sheriff's Deputy John Plock says this stretch of Southeast Jenny Road is a no passing zone with a double yellow line. Despite that, he says the 47-year-old woman driving the SUV tried to pass a trailer. When she saw an oncoming car, investigators say she tried to move back, then sideswiped the trailer and crashed into the home. She went to the hospital for observation. Deputies say they didn't notice any signs of impairment.
Well, the double yellow lines are there for a reason, and it's to keep everybody on the road safe. And there's nothing that you could be in such a hurry for as to do something that really could put people's lives in danger.
Well, we are grateful that all of us are still alive.
They say there are no small miracles. They didn't mean baby-sized. You can see the house is now boarded up. With so much damage, the family tells us it'll be 2 months before they're able to move back in. They have started a GoFundMe to raise money for all of their expenses. As for the driver, deputies tell us she faces several citations for reckless driving and endangering another person. In Pleasant Valley, Catherine Cook, KGW News.
Just incredible there. Well, a new lawsuit filed today accuses Kaiser Permanente of failing to protect its patients from a former Vancouver pediatrician accused of child sex abuse. The suit alleges Kaiser's knew about complaints against Dr. Michael Wilmington for nearly 20 years. The plaintiff, known only as Jane Doe here, spoke with KGW this afternoon and asked us to conceal her identity. She told us Wilmington abused her when she was a minor between 2000 and 2006. She says the doctor made sexual comments, showed her pornographic material, required her to be naked when it wasn't medically necessary, and touched her inappropriately.
I kind of feel dirty in a sense. I think that it's hard having somebody that you should trust do something like that. It's just kind of hard to wrap your mind around.
Well, we appreciate her coming forward. The survivor's lawyer says they've heard from about 50 people in the last week with various complaints about the doctor. Wilmington was facing a felony warrant for child molestation, but was found dead earlier this month of an apparent suicide. Kaiser issued a new statement this afternoon. It did not directly address the lawsuit, but read it in part, quote, "Its primary concern continues to be for anyone who has been affected by Dr. Wilmington's actions." A reminder, if you or someone you know is a survivor of sexual assault, help is available 24/7. One good place to start, the National Sexual Assault Hotline. The number is 800-656-4673. To get you caught up on tonight's other headlines now, deputies in Washington County arrested a man accused of sexually abusing an elderly woman at a care facility in Raleigh Hills. 25-year-old Oscar Marquez Alonso was taken into custody on Saturday. Deputies say he had only worked as a caregiver at the facility for about a month before other staff called authorities, worried he was abusing a resident. Detectives say they are concerned there could be more victims. To the Columbia River off North Portland, where a body was pulled from the water this morning. The Multnomah County Sheriff's Office says the person was found near Kelly Point Park. They tell us it's an adult, though no word on their identity. The medical examiner will determine the official cause of death. And the Supreme Court has extended a stay allowing access to the abortion drug mifepristone by mail. The order lasts until at least Thursday, giving the parties in a case more time to file their briefs. This comes a week after the Supreme Court paused an order by the Fifth Circuit. At issue is a Biden-era policy that allowed the drug to be administered, for example, by mail without an in-person meeting. All right, let's take a live look at Pioneer Courthouse Square at the end of another warm spring day this Monday, though it seems change is once again in our forecast. Chief Meteorologist Matt Zafino is here with the first look ahead to Tuesday. Hey there, Matt.
Hey, David. Yeah, it's a beautiful run of weather through Mother's Day weekend and through today as well. And it's still a beautiful night. 60 degrees in Salem right now, clear sky, calm winds, just pretty much perfect for May. Okay, tomorrow, mostly sunny and still warm. In fact, a degree warmer than today. We'll get up to about 82. It's tomorrow night into Wednesday when we have a better chance for showers and possibly a thunderstorm as well. The odds of that are not great. We'll talk about that later. Hey, sunset today was at 8:30. Sunset tomorrow at 8:31. But look at our sunsets. Now that we've crossed the 8:30 threshold, we go to 9 o'clock sunsets from June 13th to the 9th of July. And our last 8:30 sunset isn't until nearly 3 months from now on the 7th of August. So we're entering the really long days of spring and summer. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, but again, nighttime thunderstorms are a possibility. We'll talk about those odds a little bit more detail later. Rain on Wednesday morning looks like a good bet as it turns to showers, and showers likely again on Friday, David.
Definitely a bit of a change there. Thanks, Matt. Tonight, a small business in Northeast Portland is dealing with thousands of dollars in damage and losses after a break-in caught on camera over Mother's Day weekend. The store on Northeast Alberta called Citizens Ruth was hit on Saturday. Video from inside shows the thief rushing in and stealing multiple jewelry items from glass cases, though the shop stayed open through the weekend.
The community has shown up for us, and it's like giving us a warm hug, and we really appreciate that. All we can say is, please come and keep shopping small and supporting us little guys.
In March, an attempted break-in damaged their door, but nothing was stolen. Around the same time, thieves took $7,000 from the nearby Tin Shed Garden Cafe. Police say it is too early to determine if these incidents are connected. So far, though, no one's been arrested. New tonight, they are the firefighters who were first on the scene of this crash when a car filled with propane tanks and homemade bombs drove right into the Multnomah Athletic Club. And this evening, Mac families gathered at Fire Station 3 to express their gratitude in person. Alma McCarty has the story.
A car into a building is a pretty normal call for us.
Portland firefighters will tell you answering the call, no matter the call, is part of the job.
A car into a building on fire, also kind of not a big deal for us.
But a May 2nd call just before 3 in the morning turned out to be a bigger call than even they were expecting.
Rightly so. A lot of people having a lot of big feels about it, myself included. And, we were very lucky that night.
Lucky that a car filled with propane tanks and homemade pipe bombs driven through the Multnomah Athletic Club didn't result in a larger explosion or casualties other than the driver. As the bomb squad spent 14 hours carefully clearing the scene, MAC members took in the magnitude.
And it's a really scary feeling to think that something could have happened worse than what did.
Julian and Hannah Pashide say they couldn't stop thinking about the crews who showed up first.
They didn't have the luxury of having robots to clear the bombs out of there. They just had to put out the fire, and they did. And they went beyond what we assume is an heroic effort that they do every single day and stepped it up even more, and we're just so grateful for them.
Along with other MAC families, they brought that gratitude to Station 3 Monday afternoon. from individual cards and pictures to a signed thank you banner.
There was no question that we weren't going to show up for this.
We just wanted to bring some awareness and show our thanks as a community to the incredible brave firefighters who answered the call.
Battalion Chief Robert Hutchins calls this meaningful gesture a first.
For the community to just organically come out, and I mean, the amount of people and the amount of, especially the amount of kids, is really special.
Multnomah Athletic Club leaders shared an update with members earlier today that pending final approval from the fire marshal, they're planning to begin a phased reopening on Wednesday. David?
Yeah, nice to see something positive coming out of all this tragedy. Alma McCarty in the newsroom. Thanks, Alma. Gas prices in Oregon have gone up 8 cents in the last week. That's according to AAA. The average price per gallon, $5.32 in Oregon, $5.76 in Washington. National average, it's always lower, $4.52. The prices due to the war in Iran, the closure of the Strait of Hormuz, now in its 10th week. Meanwhile, President Trump saying today he wants to suspend the federal gas tax in order to help bring down prices, though the proposal would require approval from Congress, which has not happened in the past.
How long are you going to suspend that tax for?
Till it's appropriate, yeah.
Mr. President,
It's a small percentage, but it's still money.
Well, the federal gas tax currently adds about 18 cents per gallon to the price of gas. It's only a portion of the total bill, though. In Portland, for example, drivers pay a tax of 10 cents a gallon. Multnomah County adds an additional 3. And finally, Oregon adds an additional 40 with a 6-cent proposed increase currently on the ballot. Don't forget to vote.